Standardized testing is an invaluable part of a school's curriculum. Standardized testing is any form of testing that requires all individuals taking that test to answer the same questions and are scored in the same way as all the other test takers, which makes it possible to use the scores of such tests to be used to compare against other test takers or a benchmark. Scores may be predetermined to which the test taker's scores will be compared against to establish an association with their performance. Many educational institutions across America use standardized testing for a way to measure students and teachers on their performance for various reasons. These tests often are the focus of the student's whole educational guidance while attending a public school. The tailoring of the curriculum can put the student's overall education at risk. The curriculum is aimed at increasing the student's scores on the standardized test and not providing the students with a well-rounded education. A report compiled in 2006 by Center on Education Policy found that teaching a curriculum aligned to state standards and using test data as feedback produced higher test scores than emphasizing test-taking skills. Testing in such ways has existed for a long time for such reasons as collegiate acceptance, job applications, grade advancement, and other various forms of intelligence ranking. With so much depending on the results of the testing, teachers often feel pressured to tailor to the tests and the tests the students are bound to take. Less time is spent on social studies, sciences, and the arts category of education because the standardized tests often do not include those subjects. In an online article by Washington Post, Dawn Neely Randall, who has been a teacher for 25 years, posted on her views of standardized testing and its effects on the student's overall education experience. She strongly states in her article, "I'm not a celebrity, I'm not a politician, I'm not part of the 1%. I don't own an educational testing company, I'm just a teacher and want to teach." The students in her class would not be found reading over as many engaging pieces of literature as they did before. She explains the reason for this is because she had to stop teaching the students to give them preparedness for the standardized testing in the future. These students will never be able to get those foundational moments back. Add that to the hours of testing they have already endured in years past, as well as all the hours of testing they still have facing them in the years to come. I consider this an unconscionable theft of precious childhood time. Deprivation of subject diversity is just one major problem of many with the implementation of standardized testing. It leaves out critical qualities that lead to progression in intelligence, such as learning about human behavior and the psychological issues that make humans behave the way they do. Creativity, self-awareness, and leadership, emotional intelligence, and resourcefulness are also some things that standardized tests fail to teach. Such things are hard to measure by a black and white multiple choice test, and is the reason the big name testing companies tend to focus on such simple items and use generalizations to relate it to overall intelligence. When failing to bring such qualities to the surface, it is unfair for students and teachers to be evaluated by standardized tests for such important life decisions. When a student is applying to a college, often the college has never met the student and is deciding based off the student's test scores alone. When a teacher is applying for a different teaching position, he or she is seen based on how well they prepared the students for taking a test and how the students scored. What if a student has great emotional intelligence but has never done well with test taking? What if a teacher has great emotional intelligence, but her previous students were poor test takers. Emotional intelligence is a huge part of everyday life and has failed to be translated by standardized testing. It helps you read situations and make important decisions based on others around you. Test scores are often looked at because of the ability to compare results over a widespread number of participants. Most of the time, the testing is used to rate the educational institution on how well they're performing as a whole. There are worries that too many tests are being administered as well. The amount of testing can burden the teachers and wear out the students. Therefore, performance goes down. Standardized testing as a norm can be altered in the future to better the education of the students and evaluation of instructors of those students. Stealth integrated testing is a testing over a whole year and done so in a way that is integrated into the everyday curriculum of the student. This type of testing would be in lieu of big state-mandated testing and is offered by the same companies that make the students' textbooks. And many major publishers sell programs that encompass such testing ideas to register every answer a student gives into a database. This will be implemented by starting in first grade and continuing all the way up to graduation of the student in high school. It may be made primary testing or be used with minimal state mandate testing at first. Then you would wean off of the testing. Standardized testing is a very invaluable part of a student's curriculum. Thank you.